39.
Yeah, Bob.
Yeah, you
That's
know what
exactly
I'm
right.
39 and holding.
And holding.
Why would 20 be on your shirt?
That's the money grab. I've been told that that's a community thing. I see it a lot. And it's usually women that will have like a 20, a 5, just money taped on their shirt. It's their birthday, so people can add on to it. So you see someone with money pinned on their shirt, you pull out whatever you have and pin it on their shirt. It's their birthday.
I've never heard
That's
of that.
huge.
I think
Huge.
this started in New Orleans, I'm reading.
Oh, really?
But it's popular in the South.
Like the king cake.
If you go to any birthday party, well,
Any
maybe
black person's birthday party?
some of the birthday parties I've been invited to, the birthday person will always have money pinned on them.
What's the baby in the king cake called?
I don't know.
Is it like the little king?
What are you saying?
King
Jesus.
cake. There's a baby in the king cake. I think it's good luck if you get the baby. I don't know if it has a name.
The baby in the what?
King cake. It's a cake, actual cake
Look
that
at
you
this
eat.
Like a
Baby.
king, like the king of England? King?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the word, king.
Yeah.
King cake.
You trying
Right.
to figure out the word king?
Well, I've never heard of something called a king cake.
Yeah, it's part of the Mardi Gras
It has the
festive season.
colorful sprinkles on top of it, and you cut into it, and you find there's a baby.
It's
baked in
a
every
little
one.
plastic baby. Look at this baby, I think you're
Yeah.
supposed to say.
Really?
Oh, it symbolizes baby Jesus? Okay.
Yeah.
And the baby looks just like Tony,
What if
don't
you
you think?
So is
cut it? What if you
So
hit
the-
it with a knife?
The king is the king of kings.
Oh, and it's king cake.
Yeah.
Do you think that's what they served at the manger? You think
Can you turn my headphones
one
up,
of
please?
the three kings
Little bit.
brought
No,
over
I-
a king cake
It would have been awesome
good.
if he did, but I don't
with
think
a little baby?
I don't think they thought through things in Bethlehem quite like they have in New Orleans just yet.
Frankincense, myrrh, and king's cake. That's the gifts that they brought.
Be way better than frankincense or myrrh to have a nice pastry there, right? A little cake,
Celebrate the birth.
little
Why not?
calendar.
This is myrrh.
So myrrh from
Not that myrrh. Myrrh is an incense.
Yes, I think. I don't know.
What is myrrh? It's like M-Y-R-R-R. M-I.
MYRRH.
Yeah?
That's myrrh. It is a natural gum or resin extracted from a number of small thorny tree species.
Resin? Resin.
Resin
Yeah.
idiot.
has been used throughout history as a
Man knows what
perfume,
that is.
incense, and medicine.
Okay.
Myrrh.
Or wasn't that far off.
They need a vowel in that thing, man. Myrrh.
And then it turned out to be arguably the funniest of the Impractical Jokers.
There's a
We done,
tallest
bitches.
midget.
Sports Radio 1310 The Ticker presents the Bob and Dan Radio Show.
Rick Ross!
Woo! Today at Cowboys Roundtable featuring Junes, Donovan, and the Snake, a play-by-play breakdown of the blue and white scrimmage, and Dan has, and I quote, a very interesting baseball thing. Also, what is a minor Julie Dobb, Jacob Camp, and R.A.P. Donovan, and now two guys who are longing for the days when the Romo family would make weekends at training camp all about them. It's Bob Sternman, damn it out.
There's down sideline! Oh, yeah! Holy! Are you kidding me? So grown, so huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
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 Yeah!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is Monday, August 5th, 2019. It's Civic Holiday in Canada. Well, that's generic. It is live from training camp 2019 for the Dallas Cowboys, Los Vaqueros de Dallas. Episode 4948. Shorty. Let's be great, guys.
Let's be great, baby. Let's be great. 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 Come on. Let's be great. Let's be great. Let's be great. Let's be great. Let's go. Let's be great. Let's be great. Let's be great. Let's go. Let's be great. Let's be great. Let's go. Let's be great. Let's be great. Let's be great, baby. Let's go. Let's be great. Let's be great. Let's be great. Come on. Let's go. Let's be great. Come on. Let's go. Let's be great. Let's be great, baby. Let's be great. Come on. Let's be great. Come on. Let's go. Come on. Let's be great. Let's be great.
Never noticed.
Let's be great, baby. Come on.
Donovan Frog just followed him down the sideline like that. When Russ would
Just
give them.
hopping along.
Yeah, just kind of right there at Russ's side. All right, so here we are. It is week 2 of training camp. It is.
Do I have the audio? Can you turn the audio up?
It's another big Monday. And here we are as the Cowboys are in their very, very first game week of the year. That's right. This is a week of Cowboy football, Dan. What do you have to say about that?
Nothing, really.
Aw.
It's Camp Cupcake out here.
Aw.
We got a day off.
Don't start.
They've been gone a whole, 5 days in a row. So, of course, they all have their family show up at camp. And
Nice off day. This would be the day on Hard Knocks where you follow a family to Disneyland or wherever you might go if you had an off day and a bunch of kids handed to you by the wife, and it's time to go see SoCal the way it was meant to be seen. Maybe a Dodger game. Can you pitch your wife on a Dodger game?
I think families at camp is a very bad bit.
Why?
And the problem
No.
starts with the
You're
superstars.
against families. Let's start here.
Oh, yeah. At camp? Let's focus for a couple of effing weeks, shall we?
This
2
is the
weeks
man
in a
who
row?
believes wives should not come to sporting events where their husbands are playing.
Oh, that's right. They shouldn't even
No,
be
I
allowed
think
into
I think
games.
you should go to your wife's work too, Jake. Kind of watch her. Be like, oh, whoa, see when she did that, sign that document.
Do you think
cool.
if she
now
was
he's
like
got me in a corner, Bob.
Do you
Yeah.
think if she was like a performer of some sort, let's not guess, that you would might go and see her perform? Maybe she juggles.
Maybe, but you don't have to make it about you, which
And
they
then-
all do.
and then-
they all. That's their whole identity.
And then Jake.
All of them.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, does my bad radio calendar say it's today is Jake and Donovan's birthday, or is that tomorrow?
It is,
today.
in fact, today, and I have a piece of audio that was sent
Okay.
to me 10 months ago. This is Donny Osmond. I don't know who he made this for, but it's somebody named Jake. Here, I'll show you the video. And do I have the audio up? Here we go.
Happy birthday, Jake. This one's for you.
See it?
It's your birthday.
Does the audio sound low?
Yeah.
Come on, Jake. It's your birthday. Awesome. Time to sing and shout. Come on. It's what you gotta do. Break it down. Add another candle. Another year, it's true. But 50 years sure looks good on you. Aw, Jake. It's your birthday.
So Donny Osmond is singing about Jake.
That's amazing. First Dez, and now Donnie Osmond.
How old are you, Jake?
Where's Marie in all this?
34. Did you
Probably
record
getting
that
plastic
on your cell
surgery.
phone? Off your television or?
Yeah, I just said the audio wasn't top
Yeah,
quality.
Killer shows up and this whole thing goes to hell.
That's called the drop third strike.
Okay, so
Oh, I forgot you're
That's
here.
not relevant right now.
We're
So-
going to practice tomorrow, Killer.
so back to the
Where were
the
we?
concept of family day at camp.
Happy birthday there, Jake.
That troubles
Hey,
you
thanks,
and
Dan.
generally triggers
Happy
you.
birthday, Jake.
Hey, thank you, Julie.
Happy birthday, Jake. Generally
Yeah.
triggers you into
Thank you for
a
like me.
anti-family rant.
Just
That's-
family at camp. You're
Well, hold on.
supposed to be at camp.
My issue with this, if I may, is that there are like 3 teams that go to camp anymore. The other 29 teams, it's called practice, and then they come home at night and have dinner. Like they never leave their families.
All right. Well, so you're telling me because someone else does something, it's okay?
No, I'm just telling you it might be asinine to have a 3-week mandatory getaway and not allow any family members to see them on a 24/7 basis for 3 weeks, like you're some Navy SEAL going to South America to train or
That's the
something.
way that's the way I think my football team should be. And it all started with the
Junction Boys
superstars.
Den.
It starts with like Romo. So of course, it's got to be all about him. And look at his kids, and look, they're wearing Romo jerseys. Isn't that really cute? Then
And
the
you might-
spares. Here's the
You
thing.
might
the
be what's wrong with everything. Right
Hold on.
now.
The spares on
I
the
agree.
roster are the ones that say then their girlfriend's at home, and they had told their girlfriend, "Oh no, you can't come out to camp. That's all business, baby. We, we're focused on football." Then she's watching the news. And she's like, "Oh, there's Romo's kids." Oh yeah, okay. Well, yeah, they're allowing us this year, so you can fly on out too. And now all the lower spares are bummed because they got to waste their time with their girlfriends, who they're kind of like not sure if they're serious about.
Oh, I bet you after 2 weeks of camp, they're pretty serious about their girlfriends. They all seemed really into it yesterday as they're making out in front of us. Like, geez, guys.
What?
Did you just
People are
meet
making
him?
out?
Yes.
That's what I'm saying, dude. They're here
Well, that
5
crosses
days.
the
They haven't been away,
line.
and if they
Why?
have been away 2 weeks,
It's like
then
they
Don't
were.
make out in public in general.
It's like they were
Why?
off to war,
God.
and it's been 10 days.
that's what I'm saying. There should just be a no family rule, and that way all the players can just focus and not have to be. Would you try to focus? That's I think of Bob.
So
in my
how do you?
head.
So you don't see a scenario under which off
Someone
day,
enjoys their family.
off day,
No,
no family.
no. Look, if you start
Isn't
bringing your wife, here's the
isn't
deal.
Isn't a caravan down to L.A. strip clubs instead?
So
like if you're a coach, you might actually say, "Wife and kids here occupies the idle mind." And they'll have a nice, wholesome, restful off day, as opposed to the cannonball run to Los Angeles as they're all racing each other to try to get to poor college girl trying to
Your argument is based on speculative events.
based
Can you
on
guys please-
hundreds of years of male behavior.
There's got to be a happy medium between having your wife there and going off to the strip club as quickly as you
That's
can.
what I'm
right?
saying, Julie.
Well, we're talking about football players. What, you think they're going to go to the library, Julie? Or like,
I don't think that those are the two choices that they have. You don't think they can take part in training camp without sneaking
No,
off
no,
for
no.
extracurriculars?
No. This is off day. You have 36 hours to your own devices.
That's when they go bond with their teammates.
Yeah, hang out, watch a movie.
And do what? Like mini golf?
No, Bob's scenario is
This
that
is
guys
also absurd.
can't do anything except go look at girls stripping. And
Yeah,
then
what a leap of faith he's making.
Yeah,
by thinking
geez.
that a
Where do I get
22-year-old
this
with
idea?
$1 million in
Not
Southern
married
California
ones.
might want to go.
Within driving
Maybe
distance
the
of Los
single dudes,
Angeles.
but still, I mean, there's strip clubs in Dallas. They can do that at home. Why would they be like, I'm at
Because
camp and I have
their
one night. I
wives
gotta run to the nearest
Have
strip
them on
club.
Life 360
here's the problem.
there.
Here's the thing, Bob, and you just want to argue, and I get that. You're a good radio guy, but I'm right.
No,
like
Whoa,
if Sally,
I've spent 21 years
it's a-
not knowing you're right.
if but most things I say you end
Today.
up coming around on later.
Like
So
backpacks.
Sally, if she should show up to camp, or let's
Hello.
say I had my wife out here, and I said, you know what, my wife, Borat. So if I invited my wife out here, and it's because we're out here 2 weeks and we get this weekend off, And she says to me, why don't you have me out there? What are you going to do, go to strip clubs? I know how guys are. And I'm like, well, yeah, you're right. I probably would. So here, I'll have you come out to show you I'm not going to strip clubs. You can weigh my boys like Doug Christie's wife. It'll be great.
Like, what's the first thing
Now,
you guys did when
Sally-
we went to Green Bay?
Now,
What's the
Sally-
first thing you guys all did?
Hold on. Sally,
You went to Jort's.
that's because of Donovan.
Jort's Gentlemen's Club.
yeah.
Sally then hears on Monday me talking about all the fun I had with my wife over the weekend. And now she contacts
wife.
you, and now next year you got to bring your wife.
Oh, man,
And now
that'd be horrible
And
to
what a
see
horrible
your wife.
comparison that was.
Shut up, Jake.
What?
Man, that would
What did you
suck.
do? First thing you did when you got to Green Bay? That's not the first thing we did.
No.
Okay,
Yeah,
you put
it's
your
the
bags
first
down.
and the third thing you
Right.
did.
Yeah, you guys went back, you weirdos.
What else is there to do in Appleton,
That's the
Wisconsin?
point.
There was nothing else to do there.
Okay, can we get to Blake here?
Oh, geez. You guys got a South Park episode, or what do we got?
Well, there's a lot.
Well, here's Jake
Okay.
just
Happy
attacking
birthday,
everybody
Blake.
left and right. Jeez.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot.
Yeah, dude. Oh, I can't believe you'd want to have your wife.
Blake-
Yeah, that just
Yeah, I
sounds
can't
terrible
wait
to
till
see your wife.
till the overlords someday let you to come to camp, and I can't wait to see you invite your wife. You big homo.
I think that would actually be pretty awesome.
Blake,
That would be great. Boy, it'd be so great to see you there,
All
honey.
right, hold on.
Honey,
Reel it
no,
in.
no. This is future Jake tonight. I hope you heard the segment on the air. I was defending the. I would bring you to camp, honey. Man, I'd
It
love
just
to have
seems
you out of
weird
camp.
to marry someone that you hate. Like, that feels like an odd miss.
Call me in 15 years.
Okay.
There are some people who still enjoy the company of their family, I think.
Tonight, I celebrate. That's me, Jake. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for recognizing
Yeah,
me.
Bob really wants his wife out. I'm calling Sally and
I
flying
do.
her out here tomorrow.
Well, you should. We'd have a great time out here.
She could watch you golf.
We'd walk on the beach together. Speaking of golf, here's Blake. Now I could
Joining
mention,
us now is Blake.
I could mention Blake careering. I'd really like to know the day at 12:10 I alerted you guys to a prodigy in our midst. I don't feel like it was more than 18 months ago. And we saw something special yesterday, but I don't want to waste time on simple golf tales, but just buy stock in Blake. Buy stock in Blake.
He's like 30.
He has a really high ceiling.
How old are you, Blake?
28.
Pretty much 30.
See, this is Jake and Blake.
Easy for you to say 34 over there.
There's a real rivalry between
34
those two.
who misses his wife already because he's been at work for 3 hours.
Blake, would you like your wife out here?
No.
There's nothing wrong. Absence makes the heart grow fonder, right?
Yeah.
You don't need her out here.
It's
Have
just vacation. Sometimes I just need a vacation myself.
Yeah, you need a
You're
little.
not supposed to tell the
little me
bosses
time.
that.
Have you talked to the dog on FaceTime yet?
No.
Okay.
Haven't done that yet.
Well, you haven't been with Killer yet.
Okay, so here's the reason we want Blake on, amongst others. First of all, he careered yesterday. He was awesome, but we're not here about that. We're here about his Le'Veon Bell story.
So he shot an 80.
He shot a freaking 80 within like 18 months of picking up the sport. It's unbelievable. But anyway, this
He's
isn't
a
about
natural
that.
athlete.
He really is.
Do you remember our tales of the softball?
This is
field?
basically like what happens if athletes start playing golf.
He
Like,
calls his
the rest
home
of us are
runs
in
like
big
Babe
trouble.
Ruth.
Yeah. So Blake had a Le'Veon Bell story yesterday, or an anecdote, but I almost want to fast forward through that in the interest of time. But the short version of it, Blake, if I understand correctly, is Le'Veon addressed his fantasy haters from last year because he sat out. Some of you took zeros for the whole season if you're in franchise mode. And some people, like you, refuse to cut him because he's awesome. You want him when he comes back, which he would at some point. By the time you waited till week 10, you might as well keep him the whole way. So you took a zero, and your team sucked last year, right?
Absolutely right.
Okay. So you're in a franchise league with a bunch of buddies. How many?
12.
Okay, 12-team league
11
franchise.
others.
And dead last has
a punishment.
Has a punishment every year.
Yeah.
And could you tell Dan what your punishment is for 2019 because you finished dead last in your franchise football league?
Last place punishment was a back window decal selected by the others in the league. So when I came in last, their punishment for me was to have Justin
for the whole season?
For the entire
2019 season.
So now.
This is kind of your job, Hawk. When you go back, you have to apply this to your vehicle.
Yes.
Okay. Please go on.
Justin Bieber will be on my back window decal for the next 5 months.
Like, is this his face?
No, it's like him performing in a white T-shirt, looking peak Justin Bieber. And the way that I drive, I'm gonna get some pretty hateful looks.
Yeah, I like that.
How awesome is that?
Yeah, that's good.
Justin Bieber window decal on his back window for the entire football season.
So they could have
You have
chose anything?
Anything.
Like your name in Gothic letters or whatever?
Yeah, they were a little more spiteful than that.
Do you have to peel off the 9/11 was an inside job sticker?
No, it's going to go right over it.
Oh, okay.
Right next to the John Benet
Right
Ramsey. I
over
got
your
that license plate.
InfoWars.
Jeez. So, what have been some previous winners for the punishment?
Now, you're not going to believe this, but I'm the first one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. So, was last year the first year of the league or the first year of the punishment?
First year of the punishment.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess they had just come around to watching the league on FX.
Okay.
Yeah, bad timing.
How are you feeling about this?
Not great.
What's the little lady think?
It's funny.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Nothing too bad.
That's awesome. How about that?
That's great.
You like that?
Yeah. I would employ that.
All right. Well, you got you got Le'Veon Bell back, not Le'Veon Bieber. That wouldn't make any sense. Le'Veon Bell.
Whoa.
I part ways with him. I'm done.
You got rid of him?
Yeah.
You held him the whole year and then got rid of him.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not going to question
I'm vengeful.
I mean, you finished last. I'm not going to question your GM
Who'd you
skills.
trade him for, Zeke?
Nah, just cut him.
Just cut him?
Because you can only protect a few.
Yeah, one.
For the year.
Yeah.
Who'd you keep?
Doesn't
He's
matter.
going to ball out, dude.
Well,
He's
it
so
does
fresh.
matter. You made a decision. Who did you keep?
I think maybe Julio or somebody.
Okay. All right.
But
He scores a ton of touchdowns, so that should work out great for you.
He'll get you
He's
30.
improved.
Yeah,
Boy,
he
Jake with the
careers-
ether
I
all
know.
day.
Jake is
I love
spraying
it.
everyone. He is pissed.
Happy birthday, Jake.
He did
He
not get
careered
woken
last
up in
year
that
with-
special way.
with 8. Big year for Hool last season.
Do you want to tell Jake about your eagle putt on 13?
nah, it's just something he wouldn't understand.
Yeah,
That's right. I
that's
wouldn't.
true.
Look, I know that dude is the GOAT. He's won us many a flag football tournaments on his own back.
Well,
He's great at
it's funny-
football, too.
It's funny you mentioned
Yes,
his back.
It turns out.
Because I think the end of his 30 for 30, which we were pitching yesterday, is the 30 for 30 wouldn't be about Blake. It would be about this current class of engineers as like the 83 draft maybe, Dan. Just like this perfect class of engineers. You have Killer for all of his greatness in many fields, including explaining baseball
So
rules.
mostly it's their on-air greatness.
You have Tony
Yeah.
for his dancing and his
Menopause.
his
Prankability.
his drinking ability,
Yeah.
his prankability, and all that. And then you have Blake, who was this 18-month project to break 80 in golf, which I think is generally impossible. And then I think at age 34 or 36, his spine snaps in half because he swings so hard, and then the rest of his life he can't play anymore. And then it's like the GOAT at Rucker Park, where you just talk about how great he was, those of you who witnessed him in that small amount of time.
Somebody put $1 on top of the backboard, and he jumped and
Right,
got it.
right.
And when he landed, it was 4 quarters.
But
That's
Blake
when
will
you
be
just hear
that,
everything.
like in municipal golf
Right.
lore, is, man, I saw him get to 73, and he was going to the tour at some point soon, and then his spine snapped in half because he swings too hard. But enjoy the prime. The prime is here, right?
Or I might get run off the road with my Justin Bieber decal. Whichever one comes first.
All right. Well, Blake, happy Jake's birthday. Thanks for being on the show.
Happy birthday, Jake.
Do you believe 9/11 was an inside job?
Just have some questions.
Thank you, Blake. All right, it's 12:30. We're in the tent. We're at Oxnard. We had a scrimmage yesterday. Some exclusive takes next.
Heard after every weeknight home Ranger game. Brought to you by mycomputercareer.edu, the Frisco Rough Riders, and Sports Radio 1310 and 96.7 FM The Tick.
Don't miss Seth Rogen and Charlize Theron in the outrageous comedy Long Shot. Certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes. Get the film that critics are calling hilarious and heartwarming. And an absolute must-see. Own Long Shot now on Blu-ray, DVD, and digital. Text FUNNY to 22126 for your chance to win. All right, so the Blake Justin Bieber window sticker, I didn't understand. It was the entire, it'll fill the entire back window.
The entire back window.
Okay.
That's a serious.
That is a bit extra.
That's a serious L to take.
Yeah, that's a good bit. Let's steal that. Let's make it our own. So Blake is gone as engineer. Tony is gone as well this week because we do have the return of Killer.
Killer here.
Arrived very, very late last night. 2 a.m. California time?
Yeah, California time, so 4 o'clock your time.
4 o'clock Dan time, because I am on Texas time. My rental car and my hotel room clock will signify Texas time, which is the best time. I love the Central Time Zone. And I love noon to 3. And I love you, Killer. I'm glad you're out here.
Dan.
Happy birthday to Jake. It is Jake's birthday. Send him your wishes. Send him your birthday song you recorded on your phone, like I did. I guess it's also Donovan's birthday and Dan Bennett's birthday.
Wow.
So Jake can continue to be overshadowed by those around him. He can't even have his own birthday. And that's it, right? It's not like Brad Sham's birthday, is it?
I don't know.
Or is
your
his
birthday guy?
Is his Mike Reiner's? I can't recall. Quincy Carter's birthday is today.
Okay.
How about that?
I remember Jerry Jones being excited about that fact. I think that's why he drafted him.
Has he cut him?
He would later. Well, Jerry did not have anything to do with cutting Quincy Carter.
Fair.
And you do know that. You were standing right here.
Sure was.
When that occurred. So there is no practice today. We're at Cowboys training camp. It's one of their mandated days off. They will be back out on the field tomorrow. So, Killer, we'll explain drop third strikes to various players if you're up for that. Not we. I mean, you will. But there was practice yesterday. Actually, it was called a scrimmage, the annual blue-white scrimmage. And what a spirited affair this is.
Man, it gets lamer and lamer every year, to be honest. And I don't blame the teams for doing this. What you have here is a tradition that everyone thinks they really enjoy as fans and as media, but in reality,
the stands were packed.
In reality, there's nothing a team fears more than full contact when it's not mandatory going into a season. We've progressed as a group, and so that old school discussion of do we need to harden our boys before they play games, or do we need to put them in bubble wrap and protect them? Hopefully, you realize that battle's been lost for a couple decades, and every year it gets further and further away from trying to not risk a single player that you have any plans for. And therefore, yesterday I think it was only full contact for like a dozen plays, and I think none of those actually had what you would consider to be like top 40 players on the roster participating. It's now a mere exercise, Dan. We'll play some 7-on-7s and some 11-on-11s, but very strict contact rules. And whistles to save anybody coming close to a quarterback or anything like that. So I'm not complaining. I'm just telling you that if you want your media types to have a ton of meaningful observations about the players involved and what happened, it's not like it was. Even when we started doing the show. When we started doing the show, it felt like a pseudo half game, sort of. You know,
heck, Dez and Patman fought like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Punches.
No, although I swear that was a mix-up after a normal 11-on-11 snap, as opposed to, I don't know. I mean, look, you'll see on social media or on SportsCenter at some camp some guy laid somebody out once every other day here in this time of year. But for the most part, there's not much. Now, there are some talking points, Dan, and I don't know if you want to handle those right here in Brainerd, or if you want to talk a little more about this in the next segment. There are some very interesting Cowboy 2019 talking points I'd love to pick your brain about.
All right, let's do it next.
Okay, we can do it next.
We have plenty from camp today. Got a roundtable, I guess, after the news.
We do.
Pre-news, all football. Post-news, all football. And artificial intelligence. So that's coming up on the ticket.
The ticket's content is on
AP.
time you want it. Demanding, aren't you?
Not demandable.
Didn't mean to
Why
spring that
not?
on you, but we
We've
really
got
didn't get started
podcasts and
till
everything all the
43.
time.
We do have camp fun. We do have Cowboys player man interviews. We have Cowboy fan man interviews. We have Computer, who ran into many different players. He also cornered Stephen Jones for a little bit.
Oh, good.
So we'll hear from that today. Later on, we have a roundtable. What's that music?
Vampire Weekend.
Well, my next question would be, why is that playing?
All right, let's party. We have Cowboy.
Oh, and so
Uh-oh.
we're moving this ahead a little bit, and we're still talking Cowboys. If you want to morph into audio at any time, let's get the high sign, because I will not lose a very interesting baseball thing. Will be on today's show at some point.
Oh, at the point of your choosing?
Well, no. I mean, we initially chose 115, but I don't think that's going to work now. But don't forget, Jake, a little birthday gift for Jake. I know he likes nothing more than a baseball stat that he didn't know about when he woke up.
Dan's interesting baseball point.
Whoa.
Not. It's more of just very interesting, and it's a stat. And I guarantee he didn't know about it, and you don't know about it.
You don't know that.
And I'm building this up so much.
Jeez.
This is a big year for Major League Baseball.
Billing is insane.
I'm building this up so much it will never reach the height that I'm building it. But
so you're claiming
no one
you can
listening
slide
has heard this stat before today. Nobody listening.
You're claiming you can slide a big stat past a big stats guy.
That is my claim.
Okay.
So
Okay.
we're going to build up to that throughout today's show. But let's keep talking Cowboys because,
okay,
you know,
Is
we're
Slater
at
there?
Cowboys camp.
What?
Is Slater there?
I haven't seen Slater. Why?
I don't know. Just wondering.
She was around last week, yeah.
Yeah, I think she's probably been relocated to another camp. But
She was looking for her sleeves.
so there's several Cowboy camp / scrimmage observations I'd like to throw out there, and then maybe one will catch fire and we'll just start talking. Okay. So number one, I tweeted about this yesterday. I don't know how closely you were watching the scrimmage, and look, I can take or leave it, but I do realize it's kind of part of the job and kind of have an eye on things, whether it be for the stuff I write or for talking here. So I treat everything you see in these practices and games. Unlike many of my colleagues, I treat all this with a grain of salt. I think you and I probably agree quite a bit on that. It's just so hard to calculate and quantify what means anything. And if you come to 21 of these camps, you begin to see the pattern that the guys you fall in love with on August 1st almost never make the team. Almost never. And for the regulars, if a few of them are showing out, to assume that that will correlate with their breakout season is a dangerous fool's errand as well. See my big preseason of Martellus Bennett, probably 2009.
I was going to mention that right here because so if you think you can't tell much from a scrimmage or practice, we can't even tell anything from games. They actually played like 4 or 5 games, right? And
if you call them that, yeah.
But there are people on the field, and the other team is they're trying to impress their coaches, and they're trying to make their teams and stuff. So the fact that, and I wanted to go back to Marty B, led all of the NFL in receiving one year, and we thought this is the year they're going to start incorporating him into the offense, and they see what he can do. And he didn't, he had 300 yards receiving or whatever, or maybe less.
Yeah.
Same thing will happen with a certain running back or what. So if, I totally agree with what you're saying. It's so hard to try to glean something from watching, a half hour of a practice or this scrimmage because you watch them actually play games and none of that translates to the regular season.
No, and if you're a smart regular, you take those first 2 weeks especially, but maybe most of training camp to try to improve in certain aspects, and part of that might be failing in a practice setting. But who cares? Because we talking about practice. Well, I'll tell you who cares. The entire sideline is made up of media with devices who are instantly sending out feedback to the world on exactly what's going on, and you'll see that
ridiculous.
Dak's completion percentage seems to be lower than where it should be, and man, how are you going to give this guy an extension if on Tuesday, August 2nd, he's bounced 3 passes? What's going on here? So there's a lot of that. Now, having said that, yesterday I saw what I consider to be a really good sign, which is on multiple, meaning more than once. I don't want to get carried away. It wasn't 10 times. But on multiple occasions, I saw the offense catch the defense with its pants down. And usually what that would mean is you just schemed somebody, whether it was player movement, pre-snap, or just this guy has this guy should have this guy. Why is this guy running wide open into the secondary? Why is this guy on the end around and nobody's got contain anymore? So a few times I saw the Cowboys offense tactically out-scheme the defense to its advantage, and because we are overanalyzing the coordination of this offense, allow me to say I don't know that I've seen that on the training camp field in 5 years. Now, that's not completely an indictment of Scott Linehan and Jason Garrett, but we're all eager to see something fresh, and that would be talking point number 1 of what am I seeing out here that I would consider to be fresh. I would say the offense gaining a strategic advantage through flat deception on multiple occasions in the scrimmage would at least qualify as noteworthy for me.
Yes, but we do. Let's go back to your first thing you said. Let's take anything with a grain of salt, right?
Oh,
because
dude, one of the times it was probably the third defense out there. So
the defense may also be I'm working on things.
That's right.
I'm all right, let's see what we can do if we do this. And it might just not match up with what the offense is working on. That being said, I'm very excited about Kellen Moore. Probably because it's not Scott Linehan.
Right.
And I think he's really smart, and he's, one of these young minds that you didn't want to get away. And if you got one of them, that's great. Now, what kind of leash will he be given by Garrett? What will he do if Zeke isn't here? I'm fascinated by the whole thing because players are lost.
Yes.
You have to figure things out. So
and
we can't just give a pass if Zeke isn't here and they don't have their full complement of weapons. You have to, this is the NFL. You can lose a starting quarterback and still win a Super Bowl. We've seen that.
Interviews don't often shed a whole lot of light, but I do think I was listening to Jason Witten talk out on the practice field a couple days ago, and I did think it was interesting how he discussed the offense, and he said, a lot of it is going to be exactly the same, except we're going to attempt to present it in different ways, and that obviously makes everybody think about Sean McVay and the Rams, who use one personnel grouping, for about 92% of their snaps, and
which I think is the brilliant way to do things. It's the
and generally one formation or two formations,
no, but it's,
and
to me,
everything looks the same.
Yes, and it's almost like we're going back to the old days because for a while there it seemed like the NFL and the Cowboys in particular were in love with how many different groupings can you put out there, and isn't this show that all the wild different things that we do? And in one sense it does, but it also triggers. It also is a tell to what you're going to do.
It is.
In many senses. So it's the Cliff Lee theory of I want my wind-up to look, everything, the exact same speed, the exact same motion, everything's the same, but then you just don't know what's coming.
Yeah, it's old meets new. Old meaning simpler looks, but new meaning
there's still multiple things you could do out of that look.
Infinite number of things we can do out of that look. That's exactly right. So I like that. I also realize
I love that.
That
a lot of that's probably shotgun, right?
Yeah, and honestly, to expect it all first week in August is insane. The truth is, if it's a properly coordinated offense, there will be stuff they'll add in year 2 of Kellen Moore, John Kitna, if we get that far, in year 3 that they just can't get to this quickly. So,
and maybe you're able to see more here than you will during the games because maybe during the games they don't want to throw stuff on film for their opponents the first few games.
I agree.
It's another topic, but I don't think you're getting to year 3 if that's going well.
That's true.
Because if it's going well, Garrett's going to be back. and Kellen Moore is going to be gone.
Kellen Moore will get
someone's
snapped
gonna
up.
hire him as a head coach.
Yeah, as crazy as that seems, the guy who looks like he's 14 years old, it doesn't look like the NFL cares about that anymore. They want young offensive minds to be all their head coaches.
That's almost a bonus now.
Very few old guys are being hired. Very few defense-first guys are being hired as head coaches around the league. And that may change, but it's not changing anytime soon, it doesn't appear.
Now, it's an interesting change because as I'm reading that Bill Walsh book, apparently he got his first gig with San Francisco as a head coach at 47.
Yeah. And
but that was the thing of you got to, pay your dues. You should be a coordinator for many years, maybe a head coach at the college level.
I kind of think you should. I kind of think experience is really important for something this meaty of a job.
I agree.
And
the Bengals went and hired, the Rams quarterback coach, right?
Zach
the flip
Taylor.
side of it is just that, some of those guys kind of get institutionalized.
Yeah.
They're,
but
I've done it this way for 25 years, so I'm not real interested in doing it a different way. There's a middle ground, I'm sure.
There's got to be a middle ground, but where I think the rubber meets the road and where experience is so vital is just interpersonal relationships with players. And I do think a 30-year-old can understand a scheme really, really well. Can he understand how to juggle diva quarterback with, with just all the things that you deal with in an NFL locker room? Let's go back to Ron Rivera if you want, just dealing with Cam over here and a PED suspension over here and this injury here, and these three guys are going to retire at the end of the year, and you got to get them all on the same page doing the same thing because the other team is really freaking good, and the margin for error is almost none.
Then the defense isn't playing well, and you decide I'm going to take that over or something.
Right.
Right. You don't know what problems you're going to have.
Okay, so that's one. Two is just looking at this offense and the fact that people in the media want to declare a winner every day, and the last couple days, the defense won practice. I wonder the value, and you want to talk about unquantifiable discussions. Here's one. What is the value of training camp against an elite defense versus a normal defense versus a bad defense? Because I remember years we'll come to Oxnard, and we expect the offense to light up the defense because we think this defense sucks. And, the many Romo years, we did not think there was an elite defense on the other side, especially in the Monty Kiffin and late in the game here of Romo's career. And now it feels like we have the opposite, where it's a young, developing, struggling offense without its best player, and a couple of its best players, if you consider Amari Cooper and Zach Martin and Zeke all out. And they're going up against what amounts to roughly a full-strength, really good, really young, really together with not a whole lot of new pieces defense. And I wonder, almost like we talk about, hey, what's it like to play Tyron every day in practice? Well, it's great because on Sunday it's going to be easier. Does that equate to the offense in Oxnard versus what they'll see all year long? I don't know. It's just something that crossed my mind.
Yeah, I don't know either. That's the same thing of you just don't know. Is Dak saying I'm like this drop back, I'm throwing the out because I'm practicing that here, or I want to, it doesn't matter what I see. Like in a game, if I cared, I would, So now you're saying, oh look how the defense shut that down, but he would. You can't do that. You have no idea what they're doing.
But you
in
do know
practice.
how
they're working on stuff.
But you do know how this defense looked against like Drew Brees last December.
Yeah.
And you say, okay, well, if the Saints are having a
hard
time.
No, in theory, that's great.
Yeah.
I was thinking that about not having Dez here too, because you talked about him getting in a fight, because his passion, he was always going all out all the time. And that caused the guys against him to kind of have to go all out, and it caused fights. And they said that was a great thing to have in camp. So is it worse that you don't have that in camp? Is it better to play against Tyron Smith? Is it better to play against Dez? I would think it would be better.
Yeah. And then
but can you quantify that?
I don't know. Maybe tomorrow we'll get to a couple more of these, but the last one here, and it doesn't take long to do this one, is I can't believe how freaking big Leighton Vander Esch is. Now, it's all relative to his position. Obviously, there are bigger Dallas Cowboys. But when you see Vander Esch play linebacker, he plays Sean Lee's position, and you just see those two guys next to each other. Or you see him next to pretty much any linebacker in football right now. He's He was described out of Boise as kind of Urlacher-like because Urlacher was also 255 and I think 6'3" or 6'4" or something like that. Although Urlacher played in a day where linebackers were in that range. Now we're seeing linebackers get lighter and lighter and lighter because they got to do so much coverage. And it's not uncommon to see linebackers at 230 now, some 225. And here's Van Der Esch. I don't know what they have him listed at, but he's huge. He's such a big man out there. And, man, you just wonder where his career's going because the superlatives are out there that he's on a Luke Kuechly projection, which I consider one of the two best linebackers in football, him and Bobby Wagner. I don't know. I don't know where Van Der Esch goes from here, but after his rookie season and then after seeing how impressive he looks on this practice field and just how awesome he's put together and his physical talents, I wasn't really into taking a off-ball linebacker in the first round, but much like so many of the Cowboy first-round picks over the years, you can argue with premium position, but they definitely have been able to locate some real studs at those positions.
I mean, I think that's why they didn't go get a safety. I think
Probably.
that says as much about him as anybody else.
Yeah, well, I got plenty on Xavier Woods, but maybe we'll save that for tomorrow. But there you go. What's he listed at?
6'4", 255.
Wow. See, that's a huge linebacker in today's league. Partly because guys that big shouldn't be able to run with the skill position guys they have to deal with. But for the most part, we didn't see him exposed very often last year. I think Darren Sproles got him on that fourth down against the Eagles and once or twice. But for the most part, he can run with just about anybody out there. He's a stud, Dan. All right, it's 109 at Sports Radio 1310 The Ticket. Let's do some training camp audio from the fields next.
This is Sports Radio 1310.
A1 lock.
The Ticket. Broadcasting live from the TXU Energy Mothership. KTCK AM.
He's totally dressed like the biggest Cowboy fan you've ever seen. I will put a picture on Twitter in about a minute. Here is me with Tattoo Mark. All right, tell me what you think about this whole Zeke situation.
I don't really want to touch it, but I will say that I hope everything works out for Zeke.
By the way, he's standing next to a guy who has lots of tattoos, and they're all Cowboy-centric, but it's not. He's not Tattoo Mark. He's just.
What is? I don't want to
leave
touch
that
it.
one alone. Yeah,
that's too hot.
I'm just telling you. That's what all the fans. I walked through the stands. This guy was more entertaining than the others, but
out of respect for both sides,
I just can't. I can't comment on this,
man.
Until I consult with my attorney, I'm just going to not say anything here.
The other thing that I should not stop you down again, but I just want to say, we talked about this yesterday on our outing in our car, that I think the Cowboys do really well if you were to rank the teams 1 to 32 based on face tattoo fans. I'm not saying number 1, but they're definitely on the medal stand, right?
I'm going to go number 1.
Well, the Raiders still like it?
Yeah, I'd give it to the Cowboys.
That's 1 or 2 or 2 or 1, right? Raiders, Cowboys?
For sure.
Okay.
For sure.
All right, tell me what you think about this whole Zeke situation.
I don't really want to touch it, but I will say that I hope everything works out for Zeke. We just need to go on and focus on this season because this is going to be a good season for us.
So if you had to pick either Jerry's side or Zeke's side, who do you pick?
Neither.
Yeah.
Neither. I can't touch that one. I'm sorry. I mean, that's a touchy subject there.
It's just too painful for you, huh?
Yes. I mean, it hurts because I don't think it's true that we don't need a leading rusher to win a Super Bowl. Our last one was Emmitt Smith, and then our last Super Bowl was with Emmitt. So I think, yes, we do need a good running back. I think the man needs to get paid, pay him his money, and let's move on forward.
Describe your whole Cowboy get-up here. First of all, it says Tattoo Mark on your helmet. Your appears to be a fireman's helmet.
Right. I am the world's biggest Dallas Cowboy fan, which I consider myself a die-hard, dedicated fan. Anybody that has 22 players on my body tattooed has to be dedicated because, I mean, I can always change my body, my costume, my face, and all that. But when you're tatted up with 22 players on it, I mean, that's dedication.
Can you list the players? By the way, these aren't like their names.
This is their
It's
likeness?
their picture.
Wow.
Yeah. Like Zeke is on his fist right here. It's his, helmet and his face. And
okay.
It's,
well, respect, huh?
Yeah.
Yes, I got Zeke, I got Bob Lilly, I got Emmitt Smith, I got Troy Aikman, I got Michael Irvin, I got.
How many lifelong diehard biggest Cowboy fan in the world call him Michael Irving?
A lot.
Randy White, I got. Let's see who else I got. I got Sean Lee, I got. Jerry Jones, I got Jimmy Johnson, I got Darren Woodson, I got Randy White, I got Dorsett, I got
so kind of a ring of
Troy
honor.
Aikman, I got
it is his ring of honor.
Tom Landry.
Did you say Aikman again?
Yeah. He's saying a lot of guys.
Leon Allen, and this is my newest one.
Did he say Leon Allen?
I think he
Leon
did say
Allen.
Leon Allen.
Well, it's sort of an amalgamation of Leon Lett and Larry Allen into one person.
Right.
Leon Allen, and
Oh, no.
this is my newest one, is Mr. Cowboy Bob Lilly.
Again?
All right. Yeah. That's
And of
very
course
impressive.
Of course, I do have Zeke right here.
Right on your fist.
Yes. We need to keep Zeke there because I think Zeke will stay with us. But as far as I believe if you're doing a job, pay the man.
And it appears your brother has some Cowboy tattoos as well.
Yeah.
In fact, right across his fingers, just like Jake from the Blues Brothers.
Right.
Good
right?
reference.
Have you seen that?
Sick reference.
Okay. That's incredible, bros.
Yes, and
You live out here?
no, I'm out of Corona, California, and we always come out here every year. Just recently that I was sick and I I am what you call a walking miracle because doctors gave me a year ago 4 months to live, and I was 388 pounds, and I'm now 188, and I'm healthy as ever.
Oh, wow. Well, that's great, man.
Yes. You know, I believe anything's possible. There's nothing you cannot do in life, and just believe in God and just go on forward, you know. And, you know, I can say I am a dedicated Cowboy because I love my boys. I've been a Cowboy fan since I was 5 years old.
And your prediction for this year?
Super Bowl, baby.
That's right.
Super Bowl.
Okay.
Yes.
Have you ever not predicted them to make the Super Bowl?
The last couple of years when we were injured and banged up, but we're healthy and we're eager and we want it, and I think this is going to be our year.
All right. Well, Tattoo Mark, great to meet you.
Thank you, sir. God bless you, and go Cowboys, baby.
That's right.
So how are those tattoos handling that 200-pound loss in 1 year? Is that holding up well?
Usually you want the canvas pulled tight for your tattoo, you're saying. It doesn't. Okay, so when he mentioned
I think you look great.
He was given a few months to live and lost 200 pounds, but it wasn't like sickness related. It was just a real
grinding.
fervent weight loss.
Yeah, I don't know. I just was inspired and, just kind of left on cloud nine after being sent off with words of wisdom from Tattoo Mark.
That's great.
With Larry Lilly, and
Man,
Irving.
That's weird though. You mentioned a guy with 27 tattoos, and I said Donovan and I saw him walking to our car, and then I said, and I start describing him to you. My guy, seriously, his whole face and like he had almost the Bam Bam Bigelow hair tattoo, like he's bald, but his tattoo kind of covers where the hair would, and then he has face over the eyes. I don't think they were Cowboy related though. But then you said they were. Then I found out, no, I'm talking about another guy who is literally tattooed from his ankles to the top of his head. And that's what got us wondering about the NFL fan rankings amongst the face tattooed football fan.
Man,
because I don't think the Packers would have done very well. I just don't. Now, I could be wrong. Like, they could be hiding. But I've just, even yesterday at the scrimmage, it felt like we had a real concentration, like a gathering almost, a convention of if you think Face Inc. is a good idea and you like a football team.
Are you an old man if you think Face Inc. is like a little line too far?
I mean, it's certainly been normalized more and more.
Like, you have kids.
But I still think 20-year-olds.
Like, I'm almost going to give up the fight on my kids getting a tattoo someday.
Yes.
But I just want to say, all right, just not back of the neck. Just not like.
How about over the eyebrows?
Well,
how about the eyebrows themselves?
It's primarily prominent, let's just say it, in the Latino community, correct?
Yes.
But the back of the neck is.
Where the Cowboys do very well.
Face. Exactly.
I feel like back of the neck, though, is a lot of people. Like, it's the new tramp stamp.
Back,
and let's
so,
go
so you're
interview-
not talking side throat. You're talking actual back of the neck.
Back of neck, yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, I'm saying.
And then you put like the Dez catch there?
Well, no, I'm just saying, just in general society, many people.
That's for your tailgate.
There you go, yes. All right, what's on the news?
A daring escape.
The tickets.
will be there.
I don't know.
His retirement has ended by week 1.
As long as I can check which one of these boxes has a bridge in it to log into my account.
Yeah, it's a beating. Visit the North Park Center 2019 Auto Show, where over 40 new vehicles are on view throughout Dallas's top shopping center until August 25th. For more information, visit northparkcenter.com. Right now. So you retired from gambling?
Me?
Temporarily.
Well, no. I saw him denied. Someone offered us into their gambling league this weekend, and Jake bowed out. Said his wife wouldn't let him. All right, now let's do the 1:30 news with Jake. Happy birthday, Jake. Happy birthday, Jake. Happy birthday, Jake.
Thanks, Dan. Hey, Mino.
Raising Cane's.
Birthday.
Did they bring you cookies today?
They did.
We brought you some cookies.
They did bring me some cookies.
Yeah.
Oh, how nice.
And I believe it says the Jake Kemp Country Show with me photoshopped into a cowboy hat. Everyone's got jokes. And speaking of jokes, if you guys have not pulled up your Slack, whatever that is.
You like them, Julie?
Yeah, I love them.
I'll pull up Slack.
Sorry, Jake. Back to you.
So just so that you can see the video,
Where
because
are
it's
we?
very important.
Slack. General?
Yes. This is the story of a Brazilian gang leader who was attempting to escape from prison over the weekend, Clavino da Silva. And his attempt at escaping, as he is doing 73 years for being involved with drug trafficking, was that his 19-year-old daughter came to the prison during visiting hours, and he tried to pass himself off as her, wearing skinny jeans, a pink Disney T-shirt, a black bra, and a long black wig, and a silicone mask. It's the creepiest thing you'll ever see. And
So he was
it's
going to
viral.
leave and then leave her there?
Yes, and he did leave her there as he was trying to escape. And as they one by one take the pieces of this man's costume off, it is
Great bit.
terrifying as they peel the final piece of it off the mask. And yeah, now his daughter may be in trouble for abetting.
Very good idea.
He was 42, or he's 42 years old.
Let me tell you, it's not
It's
a good
so
idea
half-assed.
to leave your daughter in a prison.
In a Brazilian
Yeah, but they're not
prison.
going to keep her there.
No, they're going to put her in the women's section for 20 years.
Well, I guess the aiding and abetting bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
So
she's
she was in on
19.
this?
She'll be
yeah.
fine.
She'll be fine signing over her adult life to prison.
Just part of it. I mean, life really begins at 40.
Apparently in Brazil, this was only a 2-year charge for abetting, so like they
Yeah.
probably made the decision that, look, Pops needs to get out of here.
Yeah, you'll be out in
You're
2
gonna have
years.
to eat a couple years of a bid to get this thing back on track.
And how'd we get caught?
They said that he
Just
beat.
look at the picture.
Yeah. Prison guards saw through disguise when, quote, she began acting suspiciously and asking for her ID card when leaving the jail.
Oh
And
my
he's like,
gosh.
So they have a video.
So did he watch Mrs. Doubtfire and came up with this
Are
idea?
you looking at this video of them making him disrobe?
It's so funny, dude. Like, especially when he still has like the girl mask on, and his shirt is off, so you can see his man body.
Oh man, that is really something. Wow.
That's a very good attempt, though. That's genius.
He was actually in 2013. He did escape from a prison. Him and 31 other inmates who managed to tunnel out of the same prison via the sewers. I feel like the prison break is popular in the Latin America.
Yeah.
Like,
Sewers
you
are a better
like
idea
Chapo
than
was
this.
getting out like all
No,
the time.
Julie, this is a better idea than anything.
I don't think so.
It's
I'd
just
go
brilliant.
sewers.
Like, where did you get that
You
mask,
would never
too?
think of this. And
that
why did he have to
shirt.
wear a bra?
Oh my god.
He's already
Pretty
wearing a
weird.
T-shirt. You don't
Just
know he has a bra under
just
it.
to sell it a little better.
Yeah.
They're hoping the black outline will show up in
Show
there.
through, yeah.
Yeah, that's a brilliant video.
I don't know how he fit into those pants either.
He looks a little humiliated being told to get out of his teenage girl costume.
The worst part is when he still has the face on,
Yeah.
but his shirt off.
Yeah.
As the bra comes off, it's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
on real good.
Got
His
the
body
Juicy
doesn't.
T-shirt.
His body was not made for that brassiere.
He's
It
going
doesn't
to.
appear.
He's going back to make a new inmate wear that thing tonight.
Oh, boy. Well,
right, bud.
back to your cell, my good man.
A similar story. This one comes to us from right here in DFW, Anna, Texas. Anna police arrested a man over the weekend. Now, he was doing a bit that we have talked about often here in this space. Kenneth Spence of Plano was arrested and charged with impersonating a public servant. He had a Ford Taurus, like the police model, dash-mounted emergency light bar with red and blue lights, flashing lights grill, and a siren. And here's where he fouled up. He fake pulled over another cop. Yeah. Yeah, an off-duty cop was a Plano police officer over on 75. The guy pulls him over, and the cop's like, yeah, this doesn't seem right to me, and files a report. And they arrested the guy. He was dressed in police-like clothing, police gear, and was carrying a gun.
What was his goal?
Jeez.
Like, I understand if you're pulling over ladies and then trying to, have relations or something.
This?
Yeah, what was his goal on pulling over a dude? Was he going to write him a fake ticket?
I'm not sure. The story doesn't actually detail that, but yeah, it was a traffic stop, so I guess he did write him a fake ticket.
So
it's like in crayon, and the guy's like, I don't know, but it seems a little suspicious.
So you're a fake cop, and the only thing you can come up with is a storyline from one of your vids of pulling over girls, and
it's not one of my vids, but what I am saying is at
definitely
least
one of your vids.
But I can play that out of my head, right? Let's just say you're a rapist hiding in the bushes. Do you grab like a lady, or do you grab like a dude walking down the street and then go, oh, man, damn it. I meant to grab a lady and rape her. I'm sorry. Can you go? Like, why would you pull over a dude? What's your game?
No, I don't know, but rape doesn't
Maybe
have
just
to
the
be your
juice
only
of-
motivation to do bad things. There are other bad things that you could consider.
And I didn't mean rape. It just meant the what are you going to do to get out of this, Jake said.
No, that's rape.
Oh.
I actually have a buddy.
You just described rape back to me.
Got pregnant via that transaction.
Via what?
Cop pull over. What are you going to do to get out of this?
Oh, my.
You know a girl who got pregnant because of that?
I have a buddy who's, I believe it was his aunt, and they're pretty country. I believe this was in Arkansas.
Oh, my.
No way!
Yeah, no way. Yeah, but to Dan's point, like, what is the guy's end game? Just the juice of writing traffic tickets?
No, I don't know.
Nothing gets me going like writing a petty offense.
Unless you're trying to get
over.
Unless you're trying to get dudes to empty their wallets. I don't know.
Okay, yeah, if that's, we could just take care of this right here.
Yeah, I guess
In
that's
Brainerd.
true. Because that's what normal cops do.
Right.
That's not like suspicious at all, but you just have to avoid.
What
doing
if
it
a
to
cop
another cop
pulled you over and said, if you hand me $50, I won't write you this ticket? Would you do it?
What's the ticket? Just for like speeding?
Yeah.
Probably.
What do you think the percentage is of people who have $50 on them, though?
Nowadays, you're right. Good point.
Awesome.
Point, Bob.
What's you guys' normal cash carry like?
I don't know that we're normal, though,
it
right?
used to be a lot.
Midday radio personalities.
But I used to always
Flush
have
with
$100
cash.
in my pocket. But
Kind of a big deal.
nowadays I only carry credit cards. But in California, I make sure I have a pocket full of ones because if a homeless guy wants something, I will hand him a one.
And because the dispensaries don't take card?
Well, I've already been there. We're taking care of that.
Yeah, I think I have money on me right now because I was like fronting for stuff over the weekend. But typically, no. Were you guys always confused by the term petty cash?
Yes.
Like, I don't really know what that means.
I think it's petty. It's all the eye of the beholder, right? If it's to the company, a couple $100 is petty. But do you carry like 2 pockets of different money if you're around a big homeless area?
Tell me more about this.
Well, no. If I have $100 on me, I'll put
You don't want
$10
to pull out the
of
100
ones
by accident.
Right. I don't want to have 3 ones and 3 20s, and then I hand the guy a 1. I just want to have a couple of ones in my pocket, and then I'll go, here's a 1.
I just keep a small, like, pocket-sized Dave Ramsey book.
And hand it to them?
Yeah, I always ask them if they can
Financial
accept
freedom.
Apple Pay.
I wonder if they take my ripped $5 Canadian money that I have. That's all I have right
You're
now.
like, what is this, Monopoly, fake money?
What do I do with this now?
Oh, it's from, quote, Canada?
Hey, what's the law? Because we used to have ripped money, and it was like we thought you had to have at least 3/4 of the dollar, or else it wouldn't be accepted. Do you know that?
That definitely made it to my playground.
This probably doesn't check out, but we all had agreed that that's what you need.
3/4. That's when it's legal tender.
Yeah.
All right. Well, shout out to Clavino da Silva, our P1 of the day.
What's up with the dollar bill anyway? Have you looked at it?
Okay.
What's up with the dollar bill?
Like it's green.
We got to go.
Like Martha would pack that bowl for George
Make
when
him
he
stop,
got home.
please.
All right, up next, it's roundtable time.
Actual bomb discovered in Creekville. Cave Creek, Arizona. A bomb was found in a Walmart. And in another Walmart in San Andreas, California, a woman got pissed off and fired off pepper spray, and 15 people were injured. And I have failed, and I'll leave you alone.
That was good, Camp Roundtable. Nailed it by Medard Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram. North Texas
another one in San Andreas.
Sports Radio 1310 and 96.
Crap.
That was good, Killer. Killer's here at Cowboy Camp.
We really missed you.
He's kind of heading up this roundtable as here at the Ticket. We are joined by various buddies. Now, I promoted Mike Reiner on this roundtable, and I was hoping he would be here.
So,
unfortunately, he's been replaced by Corby Davidson, and that means, much like the Supreme Court is loaded one way or another, this is now a very golf-heavy roundtable. Mike was going to weigh it the other way. We've replaced him with Corby. Now, of course, it's Bob and Dan here, right? Duh. Corby. Craig.
Look at Craig.
A.K.A. Junior.
I've only played one round of golf this trip, so I kind of tilted back. I'm only one round.
I've only played two.
I'm only Corby, one more than Mike.
These guys haven't been terribly committed at all.
And Donovan.
Hey, Dan.
How many golf games have you played? Rounds?
3. Golf games.
How many matches?
Just 3.
Golf sets.
Just 3.
Just 3. Looking for 4 more.
You'll get
and
it.
I haven't even played Tiger Woods golf or Underwater Sea Commander 4.
I doubt that.
Airport?
Anyway, welcome to the roundtable, guys. No. Welcome to Cowboys Camp. Thanks for joining us. Let's have some
It's
fun.
good to be here. It's really good to be. I appreciate you guys inviting. Well,
here in California, has anyone sitting here had an edible?
No.
It is legal.
Not yet.
You do have plans?
Oh, I've got big plans.
Okay. That sounds like he's full.
I may have just visited a dispensary.
Really?
Maybe.
Is that your first time in one?
No, I went in Colorado once.
Okay.
Had a really bad experience. I was tripping balls afterwards.
By the way, that's his favorite edible buzzword.
So he
words.
wasn't at a dispensary.
You did not. Balls.
You did not consult with a bud tender, because that's what they have there. You can talk to your bud tender.
Well, when I went in Colorado, I went with 2 other guys, and they handled all the purchasing, and then they dosed me.
Another one of his buzzwords.
Okay.
And then I was tripping balls.
Did you have a cigarette dipped in acid?
No. But I asked the guy today, I told him about that experience, and I said, I need something a little tamer.
Okay.
So we'll see.
I don't believe anything you've just said.
No, he did.
I really did.
Really?
Yeah.
How would you define tripping balls?
Me?
Yes.
It felt like an acid trip. Like it.
I still have no frame of reference for what you're saying.
It felt like an LSD trip.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, that makes sense.
It was just too much.
It was too much.
Too overwhelming.
So I had always imagined that it would just be, or what they told us, a chill, right? Just you're laid back, you're almost falling asleep, you're a little giggly. And I'd done edibles in Amsterdam before, so I had a feel for it. And this was similar to the Amsterdam experience in that it felt like more of a hallucinogenic, and I felt just, crazy out of my mind. For example, I was at a concert, and I should have known every song, and I couldn't recognize any songs. So that's the kind of experience I had.
So that's not a good trip.
No, it was terrible.
Yeah.
I've had good and bad. Here.
Out here, or you just mean in your life?
Well, in my life and here.
Did this in any way, shape, or form affect your availability yesterday morning?
Yeah. No, I just wasn't feeling golf, period, yesterday morning.
What?
Yeah.
All I could think of is
God, he's changed
Tony,
since he's had kids.
Tony's claim that golf is sacred.
I know, yeah. I got a lot of that from Blake, too.
And then
Come on, man. What happened? I thought golf was sacred.
And then he just dumps out at the last second.
You know, I had my heart set on the beach yesterday, and I knew that
What does that even mean?
6 hours would be allocated to golf, and that would not allow me to enjoy my beach. But I got to tell you, man.
Let's hear about solo beach day guy.
It was cool, but it was cold here yesterday. Like all throughout, it didn't warm up. The sun didn't come out in Ventura until like 6 o'clock.
No, it was chilly all day.
This is really good today. I haven't had to lose the hoodie yet.
I know.
And it's noon.
I
Hey,
know.
what happened to you and Gordo doing a hike?
I went.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay. Yesterday?
Saturday,
Okay.
all day.
Man.
Yeah, Santa Barbara.
Where can you get futures sportsbook odds on whether somebody is going to dump out of their weekend off-day plans with others? Like Gordon dumping out of a hike.
Okay.
That felt like
easy money.
Yeah, it felt like the casinos wouldn't even take your money on that one, right? Like you got to bet the other way.
Not happening. No. But yeah, me dumping out of golf. It was a long round too, right? You guys were like a 5-hour round.
Yeah,
that would have bothered
in
me.
retrospect, things were not moving real fast yesterday.
Yeah. But
had to stand on the gas to get here for the scrimmage.
yeah, I'm doing a segment today on the hikes, Santa
Oh, good.
Barbara and up near outside Omaha. I went both. I did both. This was great.
Oh, you went up to Santa Barbara.
Mhm.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, yeah. It
Was there
really,
a lot
really
of
good.
burned wreckage?
What do you mean? Oh, like fire damage?
Yeah.
I didn't see much. No, I did not. I mean, certainly in the portions of Ojai that I was in, and then Santa Barbara didn't get anything. I think Santa Barbara is untouchable. They're just
By fire?
It's got like
That's
a
where, like-
shield over it, and nothing can harm it.
That's the highest of high dollar.
Yeah.
Santa
living,
Barbara?
right?
It is.
Isn't that Oprah has a place there?
Is that higher dollar than Malibu?
I don't know. No,
That's
I
a
think
good
I
one.
think Malibu is not much more, but more
Yeah.
expensive. Like
think
if you
so.
really wanted to pull off Santa Barbara and you wanted to live on the low end,
Yeah.
you could do that. You can't do that in Malibu.
I guess I have no frame of reference. Also, I have no frame of reference for when you hear like we did. What month were the fires? Like November last year?
It was not too long after we got back from here, within a
Like,
couple of
I
months.
feel like the news stories were suggesting to us this place was just burned to
Torched.
the ground. And,
Well, Ventura,
and
I know.
I'm not here to minimize the damage, but I guess I.
85 fatalities.
What's that?
It was 85 fatalities.
Yeah,
in
well,
Ventura?
Nice, Bob.
Or in the whole
No,
California?
all throughout California
Like,
during that wildfire
Malibu.
season.
Yeah, but Neil deGrasse Tyson would tell you that 300 people
That's
died
probably
just
not a great
like in
tweet,
the last
to be
hour
honest.
driving.
That's probably not a great
So
take.
it's not that big of a deal.
I guess when we heard the news last year, it was, and we saw some of the videos, it was very scary.
Bob
what,
instantly
what
called
happened.
Spencer McKenzie's.
We did on the show.
Yeah, we did. No, they showed photos of what's our other place, Point Break place.
Neptune's Net.
Neptune's.
Yeah, like right behind it, there was flames were licking Neptune's net. I believe that
Is
it got
Neptune's
real
okay?
close to it. Yeah, I think so.
And that's on the northern portion of Malibu,
Yeah.
which I think that got hit more than Malibu proper did.
We're going to drive through there tonight, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, where's this place tonight?
Down
Right
there.
on the coast.
By Neptune's?
Have you not done Nobu yet?
Nope.
It's glorious.
God.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Is it near Neptune's net?
No,
first-
it's,
No,
dude, it's
about
30
20,
minutes.
25 minutes away.
Yeah.
Closer than Neptune?
No.
Wait,
No.
In town. You got to go further.
farther. Okay.
It's
Yeah.
a bit of a drive.
Yeah, it's a big drive.
Yeah.
It's a big boy drive down there.
And you got to wear something nice.
For real?
Like a collar. Do you have a collar with you?
No.
I don't think you have to
No, you
wear
don't.
anything nice. You're fine.
You
Can
can't
I
wear
wear
a
a not-
Luca t-shirt.
Yeah, you can.
It said
I have a T-shirt like Corby, like this.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
A designer.
It
I would
T-shirt.
I would put on pants.
Jeans.
Yes.
Really?
Okay.
But the shirt is fine.
Tennis shoes okay?
Yes, because that's all I have.
Okay.
Yeah, we have to roll with that.
They're not going to deny you once you walk in. It's a restaurant.
By the way, Dan has joined me on the wall for on shoes. Show him, Dan.
Yeah.
do you need the live spot music here, or
I'm
how's
just
this work?
no. I'm just saying we're very
They're
very
just-
hip, very now. We're very on.
Boy,
They're just
that-
running.
You do need live spot music for that.
They're great shoes. I told Craig about them at the compound. I'm
Yeah.
telling you, they're really good shoes.
All right, well, the Cowboys trade Zeke next.
What?
This is Sports Radio 1310.
No live.
It's 2:15. It is the Bob
Coach
and the
Joe?
Dan radio show. It is.
This is Coach Joe, right?
Yes.
Singing.
Yes.
For real?
Yes.
Turn this up.
Put my trust in wanderlust, struck out for parts unknown.
Why was he called Coach Joe?
Listen to this. This was recorded.
He was great. You ever seen him live?
Yeah, Bob. I've
concert?
seen him live a lot.
In concert.
No, I've never.
That was a
no.
poor question, and I didn't need your eyebrows going up like that.
Maybe the most foreshadowing song of all time.
Do you think that was appropriate, Jake?
How make-a-wish is this for older guys? Like,
I mean, they did have to.
No, I realize that.
So
remember who he was coaching, Bob?
Yes. Yes.
Who was it?
You need to let that go.
Do you remember our bid on Coach
Was
Joe?
he on Art Briles' staff?
The Italian seaman.
Yeah.
Let that sink in. Do you remember our Coach Joe bit? When Campo was coaching the Cowboys, Coach Joe would always be wherever the camera was on the sideline. Coach Joe would be there. Like he would just kind of stand next to whoever would be the most photographed person. Like that long
Was
gray
this
mane.
during Not All or Nothing, the HBO show
Hard Knocks.
Yeah, was that during that?
No,
year?
it was like during TV broadcasts of games.
Oh, during games. Okay.
Like he's the special teams coordinator, yet he would always be like next to the head coach.
Right. Well, then it
or
was
if
special.
If the quarterback threw an interception or something, he'd be on the sideline next to the quarterback. He always found the
Somehow.
camera. Yeah.
Well, moment of silence.
Did he die?
Why did
Jeez.
He just said a moment of silence. What kind of respect do you have?
So
And
disrespectful.
have you found out why they call him Coach Joe yet?
Let's try it again. All right, moment of silence. Coach Joe.
But why did they?
Dan,
Oh,
What are you doing?
I was just wondering how he got the nickname.
Damn.
Dan.
Are you trying to vamp until we do find out why he got the
I was
nickname?
hoping Mino was
My name
looking
is
for
Joe
it.
Avezzano. Most people in Dallas, they know me as Coach Joe. Got that name because of my many years with the Dallas Cowboys as a special teams coach.
And, of course, my name is Joe.
And
Explain,
second part of that riddle is that I'm Joe. Now
How
you know.
surreal is that? That was from a reality show where the winning contestant got to make the Cowboys team.
And he did.
And he made the team.
And then he won a
And
game.
he had a big play. He had a read.
He had a read.
Oh, you had a read.
Yeah, that's one of those things that will come up in the books Junior used to read from the book fair about amazing facts about the NFL. And you won't totally believe that a reality show contestant made the Dallas Cowboys and then effectively won a game.
Can't believe they didn't go season 2 on that.
Right.
On that
Like, how do you go
gold.
one and done if you actually put a guy in the league?
That
So
made
who
a play.
contributed more, like as far as bits go? Because the Eagles did it when they had the Vince Papale thing, and the movie was made about it.
I guess I don't
Who got
know.
more mileage?
I don't know the actual substance of Papale's contributions to the Eagles. But I do know Jesse Holley won a game.
Didn't Papale block punts and score touchdowns and stuff? Like
Well,
he was a special teams dynamo?
Well, the movie would portray it as that. I guess I never took the time to find out. Have
Well,
you?
you know what? The best part is we'll find out at the Super Bowl because he's there every year.
Yep. Or
waiting
was,
to be interviewed.
Or Jesse Holley, Vince Papale, or Rudy.
oh God.
Like who's done more?
Yeah. I mean,
The first two by far.
a whole
over number
movie,
3.
man.
I mean, Rudy
A
probably
major
gets.
motion film picture.
I bet you Rudy
What'd you
bags.
just say?
I don't know.
I bet you Rudy gets.
I went to the shop today.
$300 to $500 a year for public speaking.
No way.
I don't really. What did he do?
You don't think he? You don't
So-
think he gets 10 at $25,000 a piece?
Just for those
Or,
of you
I
who
guess I need more than that. Let's go 12.
if you haven't seen the movie Rudy, it's about a disadvantaged youth. He was a
Just a
special
little-
special needs child. He had no arms. He had no legs, and he Notre Dame. Oh wait, I'm getting information that he was able-bodied, completely healthy, and had his full mental capabilities as well. So in other words, he was just a crappy player that Notre Dame took pity on.
Right.
And
That's
led
the
him on the
story.
field, and that got a motion picture?
Major motion picture.
Ridiculous.
You don't think that resonated with about 10 million non-athletic white guys across
And
the fruited plain?
He gave his speech because he's been on our show, so he gave his speech to us. His thing is, all right, kids, look at me. Just believe in yourself and go after your dreams. Look at me. Well, he didn't accomplish any. I mean, they made a movie about him, but it's not like with his dream. He didn't.
He got a sack the same way that
Georgia Tech,
Strahan.
that Michael Strahan did against Brett Favre. Well, the lineman just fell down, and here comes Rudy.
He had a horrible message. So I should just watch you, despite the fact that I'm a D student. I'm going to be a doctor, darn it. I'm just going to go for it.
Or you're going to get in one play.
So
in the Notre
despite
Dame
the fact
game.
that you're 5'2" and 140 pounds, well, I want to be a linebacker for Notre Dame, though. I just want to. Well,
Yeah.
just believe in yourself. Well, okay, so your message is I'll make the NFL? Well, no. I mean, you might by chance get a movie made about you if you keep believing in yourself.
That's really it.
Yeah.
Work hard, and you'll get a movie made about you.
But you won't actually accomplish what you set out to
No.
accomplish.
Wouldn't you pay
– Like Killer, just believe that you can be a stand-up comic and you'll be on the Tonight Show. Keep going. Keep following your dream.
Hey, Harry Killer's sitting now.
Here, Killer's like, I was just sitting here. Now I get attacked?
And Joe Montana, the great Notre Dame quarterback, said that all of that was pretty much BS. They didn't throw in their jerseys at the end of the game. They didn't go crazy on the sideline. Nobody even noticed it. That's Joe Montana.
Right. Wouldn't you pay
I'll
top
pay
dollar,
him
though,
to talk at my college.
Right.
to have the video footage of the actual Eagles free-for-all tryout in 1977?
Sure.
Where the whole city shows up to run the 40 and catch balls and all that, to see what type of people showed up for that, wearing their cut-off jean shorts. And
Do you guys know the story of Ed?
The chimp?
No, Dan.
No, you're Ed.
Dan's friend, Ed.
Oh,
Ed
yeah.
Lewis.
Yeah.
You know the story of Ed?
The one that he scammed?
Yeah. Do you know the story, Junior?
It's the worst thing that's anyone's
I
ever
didn't
done.
scam him.
Well, someone did.
Yeah, someone did.
Tell Junior the story of Ed. This is classic. It hasn't been told often enough on the ticket, and I'd really like to hear it again.
We haven't even mentioned it in 10 years, have we?
Probably not.
Ed, well, we used to go to tryout camps for the Cleveland Indians
Do you
and
remember
other
these?
major league teams.
Like the open tryouts?
Yeah,
I don't know. Do they still exist?
I don't think they do.
I don't
Didn't
think
someone just sign with Oakland after throwing
Yeah, I guess they probably
94,
do.
95 miles an hour at a tryout or something like that?
Okay.
Do the Cowboys still do that? Remember they did open tryouts. Remember they had a day or two out in Valley Ranch?
I mean, they have
Anybody
Dallas
can come
Day, but that's just for area college players, right? It's not open to milk
you and I
delivery
couldn't go.
guys.
Okay, maybe I'm thinking of the Ben Agajanian open kicking tryouts. Do you remember those? Didn't he
Yeah.
do that?
I
when he
do
was a
think
coach there.
I do think I remember the XFL team sent us a release where people
They
had,
did.
had
Okay.
open tryouts.
Yes.
But anyway, Dan, back to Ed.
Well, me and Ed and probably a couple other buddies went to a Reds had an open tryout at a Baldwin Wallace or some local college up around Cleveland. And, they start, there's a couple hundred people there, and you throw and you hit and run. And then if you can pass that, so now they weed it down to whatever, 40 guys, maybe 30 to play a game. And you get to come back the next day. I didn't get to. Politics. There's a whole different thing, being a white male in this society. But Ed did get chosen to actually play in the game. Like, he was a catcher, and he had a little power. And so anyway.
How old are you guys?
Like 20,
Okay.
19. I don't know.
All right.
Somewhere in that age where I would always have a mitt and a bat in my trunk just in case I
Sure.
happened upon a game.
Maybe a scout.
You never know, dude. I was always at the ready. I
Yeah.
got to have my cleats just in case.
Right. So Ed plays in the game.
Ed played in the game. And, then they're like, with all the people who played in the game, we'll call you if indeed. And nobody ever, very rarely, but they do tell you, we sometimes we'll get one player to get invited to something or whatever. Well, then later, I guess a week or so later, somebody called Ed's house and talked to his mother or stepmom, it is, and anyway, indicated Ed had made the next step, which was to go to all the players who make the next step get to go to Riverfront Stadium back then.
All the way to Cincinnati.
And it's the next tryout step, and you're going to be there with the, this is the next step to you get a shot in the minors and all that. Well, so he's very excited about that and got the detailed information, which was given to the mom, and his dad got excited and his brother did, and they got up because he was going to go drive down with a group of friends to stay overnight and then to show up at Riverfront Stadium. They bought him a Reds cap, took pictures in the driveway. The last time we're going to see Ed before he's a major leaguer and all this kind of stuff. And everybody was really into it, and we sent him off. And I was part of the send-off crew. I couldn't go for some reason or another because of a job or something. And then, Ed, of course, got got there early and got a good night's sleep and all that, and then got out to Riverfront Stadium where there was no tryout.
Oh,
there was no. Somebody that knew what we had done had to be somewhere in our kind of an inner circle, decided this would be a good prank. And to this day, no one has come forward to admit.
It's a great prank.
But he did. He talked his way onto the field with a security guard there. Things were different, I suppose.
Yeah.
And actually went out to the field and had a catch and
stretched a little bit.
Took a picture with his girlfriend on the field and stuff, but there was no.
Oh, he took his girlfriend to the
Yeah, there was. Yeah, she was going to see him. There was no next step, and it was just a mean prank. It wasn't even funny.
Did he do well enough in the game, to where it was semi-believable, or did he strike out every at bat?
No, he did well.
Okay.
He did well in the game. He didn't go deep or anything, but again, he's a catcher and he had some good power and all that. So you're always looking for catchers.
I cannot believe this is clearly one of your friends.
Yeah,
and that
we have a pretty good idea who it was, but
he won't.
And it wasn't
claim
you.
it.
No, definitely wasn't me. That would have been terrible. There's no payoff there. There's nothing funny about it. Even.
Yeah, at 20,
and Ed's the sweetest
at
guy
20
ever.
you probably don't think that far ahead. So
no, but I wouldn't. Yeah.
So when did Ed actually make the bigs?
No, he never made the bigs.
Oh.
He was not invited to the Reds' next step camp. There wasn't one.
Well, did he land on his feet? Everything went well?
Yeah, I think so. Got a job with the city. Got a little change in his pocket.
No.
He's
think
doing
that,
fine.
You think that girlfriend on the way back was just like
she was thinking of all the grand things she would do.
God, the money she was going to have, all of it.
There's got to be a picture of him in his driveway, ready to leave with his dad and the Reds hat.
Oh, that is so terrible.
Do you think you could get him on the show?
Ed?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I could book Ed pretty easily.
Ed.
I believe he was in studio once many years ago.
Oh, really? I've met Ed?
Yeah, you met Ed.
Okay.
Big muscle-bound Lebanese guy.
Okay.
Poor Ed.
He's not Sven. He's the other guy.
Well,
You've met like two of my friends.
Our best to Ed.
Yes.
Hope he gets his call up before too long now.
Someone
He's
call
still
him.
waiting.
Someone call him up again. Hey, Cincinnati had an open tryout. Just go to Riverfront. Everything is great.
Boy, getting a little thin here at after the deadline at catcher. You're 48. Do you still think better?
Yes, sir. Drive down here in your gear, though. You have to have it on
If
in
the
the
shin
car.
guards aren't
because
on when you get out of the car.
You have to run out and rush and get to the
Be
field.
sure and bring your kids, too.
Man, poor Ed. All right, it's 2:29. It's Sports Radio 1310, The Ticket.
You were right about Tony Pollard.
So what would you trade Dak for next?
presents the 12th annual BVB Dallas Flag Football Game and Fundraiser to tackle Alzheimer's disease this Saturday at the Cotton Bowl. Kickoff is at 7. Log on to bvbdallas.org for more info. $25 gets you into the game and after party. Hanging with all the girls and hanging with the coaches. Julie for the blondes, Jake for the brunettes. Have we decided on a bet?
Nope, we haven't.
All right.
We need to do that soon.
Yeah, probably before the game.
She won't dye her hair.
If I'm the hold up on that, then I might concede.
What color?
All right.
What color you want her hair to be? Black?
Well, she would be a brunette, and
I
Jake
gotta
would have to
bleach
dye
mine.
his hair blonde.
Oh, well, he did that when he played football at Southlake.
That's true.
His son will.
Watch
of course
yourself.
he will.
His future son will. I am begging him. I'm offering to buy half his house if he'll just move to Southlake and become a dragon.
Hey, was that Vampire Weekend that you were just playing there?
Arctic Monkeys.
I knew it was some weird.
Vampire Weekend.
Yeah.
Why is it still playing?
You know not to do that.
Let's cut that back.
Does that make you mad, Craig?
No, my buddy invited me to that show in 2 weeks.
The Vampire
Weekend?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's on a Sunday night. I think I'm going to try to go.
I feel like I heard you ranting about that on the morning one day. You sounded pissed.
It's the most pissed I've ever been.
Let's see. All right, we want to say hello to our Twitch and YouTube streams. We are putting that on the TV here, or on the streaming right now.
And to those listening on the Armed Forces Radio Network as well.
I just wanted to mention one. Well, I want to do one thing about practice. Cowboys practice.
Did you determine who Burrows was? Did y'all investigate that further?
We found out the guy I was taking a picture of, it was a Computer's buddy.
Computer's driver.
Computer kind of is now thought of as a guy with the ticket. And so if he gets in here, he gets a ticket credential.
Burrows.
Which is fine. So he was taking photos for Computer.
Okay.
What are you doing?
Is he the one with the baby arm?
If I'm being harassed by TV. Oh, you got to do TV. You got to do TV.
Oh, I'd like to announce that
Okay.
I'll be on the Mike Ducey program Wednesday night.
Okay. I believe I'll be on it tonight.
I'm
just to
doing,
one-up you.
Well, I was already on it.
Damn it!
You guys settle up.
I guess I can announce now I'm doing Kimmel on Thursday.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
My thing is,
my
Mike's
thing.
running around here somewhere. Okay, good.
so you wouldn't be able to talk to him like during the break or something?
Now go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I want you to go ahead. No,
you
apparently this is pretty important.
No, go ahead.
Like something that has to be dealt with right now.
No.
So
go ahead.
tense.
He's just so mad.
I mean, I don't want to bother you. I don't want to. If you're really busy, this is my somewhere the. You used to be a big autograph hound, right? As a kid,
You were the big Anthony of Wisconsin.
So I was 16.
Oh.
You told us you.
Ted Higuera made me quit
Why?
because he refused to sign for me because he was sure I was going to sell his autograph. That never crossed my mind.
Because you were like a foot taller than
But
him.
I was like a foot taller than him, and that's when I had to really take a long, hard look in the mirror that if professional athletes see me as a threat to monetize off their signatures, then I'm in it for the love of the game. I'm in it because I like you, Ted Higuera, but we just had a falling out that day.
I don't know if young Bob or Dan's ideas on what would be big in the future, like the buying plastics, or if you had invested in Apple in the 80s, I thought, man, owning these baseball cards is going to be great.
Yeah.
Because this one is I had a 1972 Rod Carew that some book said cost $60. I'm like, I'm never getting rid of this thing. And now I'm sure it's in the attic or somewhere. That it never panned out the way we thought it would. And the Autograph Hound, of course, had its day. I feel like we're going in a different direction now. Like, I don't know. Are there still a ton of guys out there selling autographs on baseballs and stuff and making bank? It feels like
probably, but I
there are
also
whole
think
stores dedicated to that.
I think the industry peaked, but I do think it still is pretty big.
why did people started bringing their kids? Because that's where athletes think, this is pure. I will sign for a kid. That's someone who loves, me for me and all this. Now we're out here at Cowboys practice. I really hope this audio is up. Okay. just standing out there yesterday, I'm like, these kids have no idea who they're yelling at. They're just yelling Van Der Esch because they see it on the back of his jersey. And you see it, though, anytime anyone walks by, they don't know who he is.
Should be saying LVE.
They try to figure out who he is, and then they start yelling his last name. Why would you sign for that kid more than Tattoo Mike, who is an actual diehard Cowboy fan, or Computer, or somebody like that? Don't you think that, like, somewhere...
Because no matter what, the kids are going to win.
But that kid doesn't know who you are, even.
No.
And
because
doesn't
it
care.
feels more as if the adults would go and sell the autographs online. It's the one thing if they're worried about it. I don't think they're worried about a kid just gathering everything up and saying, all right, I want to try to make some money on this. I don't know if that's the thinking or not, but the kids will always have the advantage.
No, there's
Why are you so against a guy making a few bucks, even if he is? I don't know. It's not like you're making a killing.
You're right, but unfortunately, there's no limitation to the nerve of some autograph seekers that I've seen. I assume you guys have been in similar settings where you will be in close proximity to an athlete as somebody is literally handing them a stack of 20 cards, and with no hesitation whatsoever, expects that athlete to then sign all 20 and hand them right back.
It's the Dirk Punked bit.
Yeah.
It looks like that.
No, and that really goes on.
Yeah.
It happens quite a bit, and I always thought, sign one for everyone in line. That's cool, but if somebody's asking you for 20, they're clearly not doing it because they value that one item that you signed for them.
It just seems there's a lot of adults out here that are actual real Cowboy fans, and they have been for decades.
No, you're right.
But isn't it weird, though, if you are an adult, if you want an autograph? Like, that to me, I just can't imagine being an adult myself and going up to some 22-year-old, please, will you sign this for me? I really like you. Like, there's no one on the planet.
See,
Roger Federer, you wouldn't get his autograph?
No.
I would rather
Really?
have a picture.
The selfie is the new autograph, right?
Yeah.
But there's still a lot of signing going on.
Payne Stewart comes back. Do you get his autograph?
Zombie Payne Stewart.
You've crossed the line.
Hey, did I tell you guys the worst autograph seeker story ever?
Go on.
So this is
a high bar you've set.
I'm going to say 1990. It's my birthday, so my buddy Don, you guys know Don in San Antonio. He works at a TV station. So Wayman and the Sacramento Kings are in town to play San Antonio. So he gets his press passes, gets me a press pass. And we're standing courtside before the game watching the Kings warm up. And there's this guy next to us. He looks like he's probably 20 years old. And all of a sudden he starts going, Ricky, can I have your autograph? Mr. Barry, please, can I have your autograph? And Don turns to me with this big eyes. And I looked at Don like, oh, my God. Mr. Barry, please, can I have your autograph? He was asking one of the players who he thought was Ricky Barry for his autograph. The problem is Ricky Barry was killed in a car wreck 2 months earlier.
Ooh.
Oh.
Whoa.
All the Kings are just shooting this kid go-to-hell looks like, are you kidding? Nobody ever said anything to him. He just stood there for about a minute, and he got a bunch of go-to-hell looks, so he just turned and walked away. He wasn't joking. Is that not the worst story?
Is maybe even more cringeworthy than the Ed story from last segment.
Wow.
Except we can book Ed.
We can't book this kid.
So no one told him in the meantime?
No.
They just let him go?
Yeah, we were waiting for a player to come over and, like, shove him or dress him down.
How old was the kid?
I'm going to guess 20, something like that.
Man.
Old enough to know, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm happy the kid didn't mistake Wayman Tisdale for Rick Barry, because that would have been a very poor basketball fan.
Yeah.
Both could fill it.
Right.
But outside of
in
that.
their own way.
But outside of that.
Yes. So do you guys think this is Garrett's last season?
That's how we're going to end it.
No.
No.
No?
Not
No.
a chance.
No.
Not a chance?
Not a chance. He's back.
Mohawk?
Corby Hawk?
No.
What do you mean not
I
a
mean,
chance?
no.
Of course there's a chance.
You can't
course,
say
yeah, there's a
something so
chance.
definitive and not put anything on
There's a chance, but I think they're going to be good.
Yeah, me too.
So
they'll be good enough to save his job.
Yeah.
Without Zeke.
How good is that?
10-6.
I don't know if that's good enough.
I don't
this
think
is promo
so.
stuff right
11-5.
15-1.
I think you got to be in the Final Four.
Yes, you've got to get to the
Okay, well,
championship
10-6
game.
can get you to the Final Four.
Of course it can, but will it?
I don't know.
Ooh, that's the way to have him on the run, Bob. Boy, that's why he does what
So
he
their
does.
first,
Damn it.
their first championship game in 25 years, 24, I guess.
Yep.
This year, and that's how he gets his extension.
Yeah.
But if he falls short,
Yeah.
15-1 wins. Oh no, because then that's going to put him in the championship game. Yeah, never mind. He's gone.
wow, we've really
Wow,
talked
you
through
just-
this.
No,
issue.
I'm
Totally.
with Corby. I think they've got a chance to be that good.
If they're 12-4
Final Four.
and they make it to the divisional round again and they lose, he keeps his job.
Man, I don't know.
I don't think so.
12-4 get you fired?
Yes, if you're not going to the championship game, it does.
We have Saint Stoops.
But
right
Jerry-
across the parking
Would you
lot.
get rid of him and keep Chris Richard, not letting him get stolen away? Because he will
well,
if they're
that's
12-4.
dependent on what Coach Stoops wants, and I'll defer to him.
Keep in mind, Jerry wants to keep him badly.
Yeah, he does.
Well, then
So
why
12-4.
Then you should sign him right now. Extend him.
Well, he wants to put a little pressure on him.
Okay. So trade Zeke.
All right.
Boy, this really petered out.
All right.
I wonder how many Super
I feel like
Bowls
that's two promos.
Well,
What
thanks.
do you mean?
Stoops would win here. 10?
How many years would he coach here?
Thanks, Junior. What are you drinking
10.
there? Carrot juice?
Yeah, then 10.
God, that looks terrible.
It's apple,
Donovan?
orange.
Dan?
Donovan
Carrot.
eating Funyuns?
I am not. They've
Apparently
been,
that's Mino left his lunch.
They've been here since this morning.
Gordo.
Yeah,
Gordo-
he brought those over as a joke.
We're very sad that Norm isn't here because where's my half water?
Oh, your
Or
half
the,
soda.
Did Gordo leave you half a coffee today?
No, I
I
threw it
didn't know.
away.
I
I threw it away.
Okay.
Okay.
He did, though. I'm sorry, Bob. I'll
Now,
make sure you get your half
Do you know
coffee
Gordon
tomorrow.
has like a Lou Gehrig level streak of the end of his coffee stays on
What?
the desk?
He's
Like,
never finished a cup of
never-
coffee.
In the studio.
Yeah, he's never thrown one away or at the table here.
Well, he doesn't throw it away and he doesn't finish it.
Same thing in our rental car on these trips. He'll leave a cup, and then the next day another cup, and the next day another cup. And George will do it too. And then after 3
Are
days,
you the car
I-
clean
I
guy?
clean it out, and then they start to pile up again.
I wonder if he ever wonders how the cups disappear.
All right, it's 10 till 3. This is the ticket.
Trade that.
Attention.
And I never listened to bad radio on the ticket.
And now, here are your hosts, Bob Sturm and Dan McDowell.
Fans clamor for Bob Sturm.
Yeah. Here he is one more time. Mino.
Thank you, Bob. Tito's Handmade Vodka and A1 Locksmith and Security brings you Dan O.
Security.
And apparently they're recording their Fox 4 hit for later tonight. Mike Reiner and Corby the Snake Davidson.
Mike? Corby?
Both Snake and Rhines.
It's Reiner and Corby.
So many people pulled in so many different directions.
Yes. Sorry.
Can I lodge a complaint?
Go on.
It's your birthday.
I was under the impression that today, courtesy of Dan, I was going to learn about a very interesting baseball thing.
I know.
First thing this man says to me in the meeting today.
You guys.
You know what I didn't hear today?
You guys clearly didn't want it.
A very interesting baseball thing.
I know.
Let's do it.
This is a big year for Major League Baseball.
Can't burn it here.
I don't want the 3 o'clock to get credit for it.
The hard line isn't even
We're fighting
here.
for our lives.
No, Jake's right. The clock has turned, and all the gold
Oh, excuse me?
That's
content.
twice today, Chief.
The
It's like a golden taint.
look, Freudian slips are happening left and right out here.
You've been gone for a week, so you know.
Right. That's all I'm thinking about. Tomorrow, a baseball stat that nobody knows.
How can we believe
You
you?
can go look up every stat you want tonight, and you won't get it. You won't figure it out.
Does that have anything to do with Goozy's RBIs?
Oh, darn it. Well, forget it now. No, it's not. It has nothing to do with
Oh, darn it.
the money you're going to owe me. You want to just pay me now, and we won't mention it again?
I might as well take it to the seller.
Because I don't think you're winning one of those bets, although you might win the attendance.
All I do is
Because really, Arlington's been buzzing lately about the Rangers.
all I do is lose our bets. Getting tired of this.
They took 3 from the Tigers over the weekend, bro. You don't do that to a Ron Gardenhire managed team.
Maybe they should be buyers.
I think they probably will be.
Yep.
You know.
They should call the Cowboys about Zeke.
Zeke talk. Well, today is Monday, August 5th, the 217th day of the year. There are 148 days left in 2019. This is the very day. Man, a lot of Mike-centric things here. So I'll wait till Mike gets back here, and then I will give him those Today in History notes. But we will give some shout-outs to P1s like, let's see. Day 1 P1, Keith Currens. Leaders are fellow August 5thers, Donnie, Jake, and Dan Bennett.
Mm-hmm.
Did I mention it was Jake's birthday? Happy birthday,
Not
Jake.
enough. I mean,
Today is August 5th. Dan Bennett, our general manager, his birthday. But Jake has said he will outlast him, right? Your claim?
I'm not touching that. Sorry, pal.
And happy birthday to the great Donovan. They're all 3 born on the exact same day, the exact same year.
and their names are all Brett.
So that's a amazing, ironic note. Oh, and Keith Currens,
No,
who is
I had
a
another son, but he was eaten by reptiles.
fellow graduate of UNT with Craig and Jubb, and fellow graduate of Richardson High School with Gordo.
Wow.
All right. Kelly says, hey, Dan, please wish my sexy bearded Warstick Woodman husband Cameron Monger happy 31st birthday. And tell Corby he says hi. Well, you're going to have to call Mike Ducey to have him tell Corby that Cameron Monger says hi.
Call Sam.
You ever heard of Cameron Monger?
Oh, yeah, good friend. Good friend.
You've never heard of him.
You know what Warstick has?
Oh, that's Cam. Yeah, I know Cam.
Metal
see?
bats.
He was lying at first.
No,
when
I
he
know
said
Cam.
good
They have metal
friend.
bats too, which I didn't realize till I got there.
I know
left your
Cam.
phone.
Oh, thanks,
They
man.
were sick.
Cam's a badass.
We also have Philip, whose friend Sandy. It's her birthday. Or maybe that's a dude. I don't know. I mean, in this day and age, Bob, how can you tell anymore, you know? Guys and girls are all, like, in the same bathroom. And anyway, he, she.
The guy's got the long hair now.
Hippies. He, she would like a joke from line 4 guy.
Well.
However, we have to ask even if he has one. He might not.
Well, just happened to have one, Dan. I mean, it's an amazing, ironic.
Scrambling,
No,
going to internet jokes, radio jokes.
A young man and
going
his
to
date
jokes.com.
are parked in a young. Oh, I mean, if you guys don't want to hear it,
Go ahead.
No, it's
We're
not
all in.
us.
Well, all right.
It's about the listener.
A young man and his date were parked on a back road some distance from town. They were about to have sex when the girl stopped.
Mm-hmm.
I really should have mentioned this earlier, but I'm actually a hooker, and I charge $20 for sex. The man reluctantly paid her, and they did their thing.
Mm-hmm.
After a cigarette, the man just sat in the driver's seat looking out the window. "Why aren't we going anywhere?" asked the girl. "Well, I should have mentioned this before, but I'm actually a taxi driver, and the fare back to town is $25.
Okay.
That was a good one. You see the joke there.
I understand it.
$20.
That's a profit.
It's
Boy,
a
he made a
profit deal.
Couple of
It's a
today in
business
history
joke.
notes, Mike, that I held for you.
And, you know, she
Unless-
really wasn't thinking that through until it was too late.
No.
Like, she thought.
No.
Right.
It's a bad
I mean,
hooker.
it's committed at that point.
Did I just see you put in the wrong password 3 times, and then you finally got one right?
Yeah, you did.
Okay.
Jeez.
It's tough. Wait, are we on Hulu? Is that what you're doing?
No, he was just opening up his computer. and
Oh.
It took him like 3 different tries.
Yeah, I do it every day.
All right.
Is it Hello Kitty 1 2 3 or
Hello Kitty 1 2 3 exclamation point $sign.
3, 2, 1.
Couple of today in history notes for you, Mike. Unless Mike Ducey already gave you these.
No, he
No,
didn't.
we didn't do that with him. He sticks to sports.
All right. All right. All right.
You all should.
So on this day, let's go chronologically. In 1921, the first ever broadcast of a Major League Baseball game occurred.
KDKA.
That's right. KDKA, Pittsburgh. What was it like? What were people saying at the time? How was this received?
So wait, 1921. At what point did Vin Scully get in the game?
47, 48.
So they made it like
maybe?
25 years, and that's
Vin
it.
Scully was an intern on that broadcast.
It wouldn't surprise me.
And they said, people will stop going to the games. We can't air these. This is terrible. So they
were
probably
right.
did
You're
just
gonna ruin the
air.
gate. You're going to ruin the gate receipt.
They just aired away
radio.
games and.
I had a question about this topic, sort of.
Do you like tucking in your shirt?
Has
I
tennis
guess.
ever been on the radio?
No. Oh well. I can't believe I just said that.
It was
yes.
the men's final at Wimbledon. We had to be somewhere. They were in a tiebreaker, Fed and Joker, and I was trying to sort out how would I listen.
It's
to
on
this.
satellite.
How?
It's
how does a play-by-play man do
hilarious.
tennis?
Forehand down the line, backhand cross court. He comes to the net and stabs a volley for a winner. Now he doesn't do it in 20's voice.
Like they go back 26 times.
Calling each stroke too. Forehand, backhand.
I don't think I've ever heard that.
It's hilarious, and it's better when, of course, like anything else, when British people do it, because they're way more into it. It sounds better.
Huh.
Yeah,
Tennis,
it's definitely on there. I've listened to
That's it, yeah.
Tennis.
multiple Wimbledon matches
They can call play-by-play.
driving down
They
to
can call
Florida with the
play-by-play.
family.
Your claim is you've
Boy, I wish that
listened
was
to
clean.
multiple tennis matches
Multiple.
on the radio.
Yeah.
On the way to the coast, no less.
Yep.
All
It's a long drive. You got to kill time.
all when going in
Good.
one particular direction.
God.
Tennis.
He
So what is
listens to tennis on the way to the
today?
coast.
Okay, I guess I didn't go chronological
Well,
then, Mike.
when he's away from
Mike is showing
When he's
me
away
a
from
note
his
for this
side
day in
yard,
history that
he
apparently
needs the
98 years
comfort
ago
of
today,
tennis
what
on
would
the
that be?
radio.
2017? Or, I mean, excuse me, 1917?
1921, Dan.
This was in the mid 80s.
Oh, 21, yeah, not 102. Okay. 98 years ago today, the city of Dallas they authorized the very first radio station in the state of Texas, KTC. Oh, no. WRR was the radio station.
They didn't even have 4 letters back then.
Right, we didn't have that many letters. What was that like, Mike?
Was Skip on at 6?
Must have been awesome.
I will work there.
Yes.
I will take you down. I will truncate you.
That's right. I will rule from there.
WRR is in my crosshairs from this day forward.
Didn't they have Carmen Policy on that day?
When was Sam from Sales on?
On this day in 1961, Six Flags Over Texas had its official grand opening in Arlington. Do you remember this, Mike?
What year was that?
1961. 11-year-old Mike, maybe 10 at this point,
Yeah,
right?
what year did you get to go for the first time?
I don't know, man. Arlington was a long way away.
So you never went?
Yeah.
Didn't you hop on the Tom Landry?
I probably went, I don't know, 3 or 4 years later.
It was like 15 minutes from your house.
No, it wasn't.
Mike.
How?
Actually, Mike rode his little speed bike and was out between Dallas and Fort Worth at the time. It was effectively a desert, and he was trying to get a tarantula in a glass jar on his little motorcycle.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's when Todd shot him.
Did you ever get on one of those train things where you can just push it up and down and it goes along the train tracks?
Yeah.
Where this was going, Bob.
Thank you.
Yeah, did you ever use that as a form of travel?
No, I didn't. I
It'd
did
be
not.
awesome to have one of those.
It would be awesome.
Well, he happened upon a methylamine train robbery when trying to jar
I'm with you
tarantula.
now. I'm with you,
Todd killed him.
You jarred a tarantula?
When trying to jar? Is that what you said?
He did say you tried to jar.
That's what you get. I mean, you've been warned not to jar.
Elsewhere in birthday news, what is today, August 5th? Let's look at our DFW sports birthdays.
Hold on, Danny.
Our DFW sports birthdays include Jake, Dan Bennett, Donovan.
Whoa. Hello, Donovan. Donovan Lewis's birthday and Dan Bennett.
And let's see, elsewhere we have Bernie Carbo, Patrick Ewing, Bruce Coslett,
In the range.
John
Who's Don?
Olerud.
I met his daughter.
Rick Carlisle
I did.
played with them.
Oh, and Bob.
Yes, sir.
Everett McIver.
Oh, wow.
That's a lot of sports birthdays on Donovan's birthday. Oh, that's pretty cool.
He makes bombs out of chewing gum and paper clips.
Do you think?
What was the actual date of the stabbing? Was it on his birthday?
Man, it was probably close.
Anyway, we'll deal with that.
Was it on your birthday?
Also, today's birthday, we have Maureen McCormick. She's now 63.
Brady Bunch.
Do you think Everett McIver ever received a check?
Absolutely.
Oh, that's mailbox money.
Keep it quiet check.
A Be Cool check?
Yeah.
That'd be pretty sweet. Would you take that? Would you get stabbed?
In the neck by Michael Irvin.
Yeah.
In the neck.
Delivered by Yankees pitcher David Wells.
Do you know how many times Michael Irvin was close to going to jail for the rest of his life? Multiple times.
So you say.
Closed.
And Lonnie Anderson is 74.
Hubba, Mike.
Didn't he have enough coke, Mike, to go to jail for a long time?
Yes, he did.
How did he get out of that?
Same way he's gotten out of everything.
He tried to murder a man.
Well, he cut in line
now
for a haircut.
Well, that's true. Yeah, you don't,
I have a
do
birthday,
that.
Dan.
If there's one thing we've learned over the years, you wait your turn for your haircut.
That's right.
Your training camp haircut.
Now here's Not Paola with Mike.
Not Plugola.
Happy birthday today to Ted Hume.
Hume?
Yeah.
Speaking of Ted, did you
dentist.
see Marky Mark was here over the weekend?
I did.
Hume.
To Jeff Gauntz, to Bobby O'Neill,
Really a bummer because the fun
to
bunch could not
Mike
get us
Kennedy, and to Shelley McKiernan.
Ooh.
Back to you, Dan.
What's that, Dan?
Is that Shelley from work, Shelley?
Yeah.
She still work with us?
Yeah.
Okay.
Still there.
That's awesome.
Okay.
I haven't seen her in a while.
What's the matter?
Nothing. Just thinking. Thinking about
He's
writing.
got teeth.
Now, spares.
You're thinking about writing.
Yeah. Well, later I'm going to write about thinking.
Okay.
Sure, everybody knows I'm hanging around Denton a little bit.
Bless him.
Bless him indeed.
Just thinking about Jake.
Carl Crawford is 38.
Tampa Bay.
How many years
Big
does
free
he
agent.
have left on that deal?
Red Sox, right?
Yeah.
Then Dodgers, did they move that deal?
I believe they did.
They traded the untradeable deal?
Oh, Jake. Lolo Jones is 37 today.
What's
that?
Lolo Jones' bit?
Who's that?
Olympian and virgin, I believe it says
He's
on
the
here.
one taking over
She's
the.
not roast beef, though, right?
Who's the one that, like, beat up her girlfriend?
Hope Solo?
Yeah. Yeah.
Or is Hope Solo the roast beef?
All right.
it's both.
Easy.
What?
Easy.
Leave Hope
What's the matter
Solo
with you?
alone. That's an American hero.
I know.
She's also
I mean,
a
the-
domestic abuser. So
The Women's World
Right.
Cup would have been worth watching if she would have been
She was
there.
a victim.
Okay,
of
this
domestic
leads us
abuse.
back to the weekend
No, she
discussion
did it.
about Rommel.
I thought that she hooked
abused.
up with some
They're
Seattle
totally different
Seahawk that
movies.
beat the crap out of her.
I'm pretty sure she beat him up pretty
Yeah,
bad.
I think
He
so.
was like a tight end.
Jeremy Stevens?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, she did it, dude.
She ain't fronting no games, man.
This is like our question about Rommel you had, Dan. Go on.
The German general?
Yes?
What?
Can you be a unbelievable military strategist and a Nazi?
Bill Walsh would say yes. Bill Walsh has quoted a Nazi general like probably every 10 pages in the book I'm reading, the Bill Walsh book.
Oh.
Did he write the book?
Yeah.
I mean,
And
I don't
he's
think
quoting
they stacked
Nazis?
up. They stacked up so many wins by sucking at what they were doing.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. They,
they were.
Well, I was trying to say, it's okay to say Rommel was really good at what he did for a living.
you go ahead and do that, Bob.
Now, what's the Hope Solo tie?
The book
That
was
you could be an
titled-
American hero and perhaps have some problems
Beating up your
with
spouse.
your domestic relationship.
Yeah.
Why are you Marge shotting this whole
isn't
segment?
Bill
Like, can O.J. Simpson be considered a great running back still? Yes.
Yeah, he can.
The answer is yes.
Yeah, I mean to you.
Hey, Twitter world.
Even if I'm trying to tell you with my eyes that he's threatening me. Greg Kite is
Hey, Dan,
58.
isn't Bill Walsh's?
But
isn't
that is-
Bill Walsh's book titled Mein Kampf, the West Coast offense.
I believe it's called My Favorite Nazis by Bill Walsh. Greg Kite, 58, but not the most significant 58-year-old spare today. That would be
Hold on a
Tawny
second.
Katane.
Whoa. Damn.
Whoa.
And 32 years old, C.J. Spiller. About ready to break out, no doubt.
All right, two quick deads. Born on this day, now dead, just for Jake. Neil Armstrong.
Whoa.
That's why he hates space.
That's an American hero.
Because that
I
took
think
all
space is super
the
gay.
shine off of his birthday. Dead on this day, still dead. We don't have time to talk about him. Paul Brown.
Buzz.
Tyler?
Whoa.
Unbelievable. You just
Whoa.
throw that in there.
I know.
Inventor of the hash mark, Paul Brown.
Having laces on the football.
That true?
Nope.
No live.